Good evening and welcome to the Thursday Camera Artists Guild Image Critique. I'm your host, George DeLoache, portrait artist and photographer's coach, and this is where we help photographers learn to master the photographic arts. Welcome everybody that are watching on YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, along with the Camera Artists Guild page and the Camera Artists Guild group. We have been working with photographers for about the past 3 years with this broadcast. And I can tell you that it is just thrilling to watch how the work has improved. Each and every week as people submit their work to critique, they get better. You bring the work out, we look at the images, we see how we can maybe make them a little bit better, and then go back and apply those techniques. So if you're interested in growing and getting better at what you do as a photographer, jump into the critique process. It is a proven, well-proven course to improve the quality of your work. So we're going to swing over to the broadcast here right now, so stand by. Let's get going right away. First image is up, and it is from 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. Gary does really a lot of really great sports stuff. And hey, Jerome, how you doing, man? And he's adding in some portraiture there. I like this one, Gary. I think you're really on the right track. I like the soft lighting that you chose to use, soft because of the gradual transfer edge, and diffused because of the smoothness that it looks. So it works very well with females and skin tones. Very nice. The thing that I would suggest that you consider is your background. Now you've chosen a nice shallow depth of field, so we have really cool bokeh. That is, you know, the bokeh is this area, B-O-K-E-H. Is a bokeh that is that the area here in the back that's out of focus, and that helps to separate the subject in the midground from the background by use of the technique called selective focus. So you've done that well, but you're a bit hot on your background. You've got hot spots over here in the grass. Your greenery there is brighter than it need be, and the sky here is detracting to a certain degree. I think if you increase your shutter speed, you will be able to darken that background down. I wouldn't even touch the f-stop. F-stop's fine. Just increase the shutter speed. And now if you take your shutter speed beyond your sync point for your strobe, then you have to do some calculations. You either have to go to high-speed sync on strobes that will operate under high-speed sync, or you have to stack some ND filters, neutral density filters in there, and readjust your exposure. But still, it's a nice image. Hey, Ron. Got Ron Pollard over there out of Huntsville, Alabama. I just saw him pop on the broadcast. How you doing, brother? Okay, that's 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. We're looking at 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞, the next one. Gary does all these sports images. Nice action. It's a little tight for me. You know, I'd like to see just a little bit more of the action, but you really know what you're doing with sports. Your exposure is right, your action's on, your action's frozen. So you're right there. I just think it's just a little bit tight, but you know, that's just one person's opinion. Thanks, Gary. Okay, 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤, beautiful image. You don't always have to have the person staring into the camera, although I like eye contact with the camera. I feel that it's more intimate. But this is one almost peeking in on a quiet moment between this lady and herself, like she's almost sharing a secret with herself. So it's well exposed. Yeah, little compositions could maybe use a little tweaking there to position her on the page a little bit better. I understand where you're going with the rule of thirds and dropping her in on the 1/3 compositional line. I think I maybe like to not have the image quite so narrow and have it a little broader, if that means using a 4:5 crop, and give her a little more of the shoulder there, so that this side of her face has there's just a lot of room on this side, and I like to have a little bit more room on that side, but it's a beautiful image. Skin tones are nice, exposure's nice. Well done, 𝐤𝐤𝐤. I appreciate it. Okay, here we go again. Marilyn Miller, Bill Thomas, how are you doing? This one's 𝐤𝐤𝐤 again, and great black and white, a masterful job in maintaining skin tones. You got great skin tones here. You have detail in the white, you have detail in the darks, you have nice specular highlights which give tonality to darker skin. It's an amazing image. You did really well on that one, man. Congratulations. That's a difficult thing to pull off because of the fact that you are pushing the dynamic range of your equipment between where you have detail in the low range and detail in the high range. And yet you didn't have to sacrifice either one. You were able to hold all the details in the folds of the hijab here, you know, and up into the top of her top garment. So nice eye contact, nice expression. Thank you. Okay, Diana Rucker, our Midwestern Iowa photographer. And Diana, I just commend you so much because you're constantly pushing the envelope, trying new things, experimenting with post-production and your images. That is the way things are rolling. I believe and I teach that your post-production, what you do with the computer, is 1/3 of the creative process. And here you are working with paint or a painter type effect. Painter is a program specifically of its own self, but Photoshop allows you to paint as well. You may want to check that out. But I like what you're trying to do, and just keep on pushing it. You are getting better at your techniques, at your compositing. You get better at paint. And for a family portrait photographer, that's the route to the money. That's where the money is where you can produce stuff that nobody else can. I can point you in the direction of a couple of photographers that really do an excellent job with it. You can check out some of their work. I'll pull together a list and try to email it off to you. But thanks, congratulations, appreciate it. Okay, this is another one. You say you were out there on your parents' farm in the sunflower patch, and that it was high noon, which is a real challenge. And working at high noon with all those contrasts, you pulled it off well. There are some things that I try to tweak a little bit with composition. Again, it's just so narrow that it's nipping into her arm, and I just really like to see the rest of her arm. I think you probably could get a better pose with the sunflower and her hand. There, it just kind of looks like she's kind of grabbing a hold of it, and you want to maybe delicately pose it. I did one of my daughter about this age with a big mum, and I had her almost cradle it like it was a baby, and that kind of worked. But exposure-wise, you held detail in the back without blowing out the back areas. Your exposure just right on with the high noon sun. You said you were using the Sunny 16 rule, which is a 1/16 of a second, f/125 at 100 ISO or thereabouts. The f-stop or the shutter speed and the ISO are usually pretty close to matched with each other, but still nice as far as technique is concerned. Okay, great. Okay, we got Triple D, D-Dan, Dave Blackman out of Detroit City. D-Dan is, I call him Triple D because his first three names are all D's. Triple D has been around since the beginning of the group. He's a heck of a good guy. You guys up there in that area know that he's just kind of one of those salt of the earth kind of guys. Good man. This is a really interesting image. I am not quite sure how you got all of this together. If that is a hawk and you have got that hawk pretty well suspended in mid-flight, yet you ended up with automobiles there blurred. I don't know whether he flew into your camera range and then you fired your strobe and suspended his movement by the speed of the speed light, the speed of the strobe, or exactly how you pulled it off. But it's an interesting image, man. I really enjoyed trying to figure out how you pulled it off. Shoot me out an email and let me know. I don't want you to give away your secrets. I'm just interested in how you did it. Okay.